How do kids get indoctrinated? Let me show you.
It's day 1408 of girlhood, for all those who still celebrate. And today is my first day of rehearsal for Six the Musical on Broadway. Woo! I only really make these videos now on special occasions, but I would say today is a pretty big day. And I've got two very important communities in my life, the theater community and the trans community. And when I started this series, I think the general public didn't fully understand theater kid energy. But if you look back at my early videos, I make so much more sense when you realize, oh, she's just a cringe theater kid. Got it.
Yep. Said it right there. Oh, you're just a cringe theater kid. We've known it from day one of girlhood. So today, what I'd like to expose, because I've done video or two on Dylan back in the day, but I think it's about time to really show you the timeline of how this person became the biggest, one of the biggest grifters in the transgender community. Here's the deal. I don't care what an adult does. Okay, this person is an adult. What I care about is the influence that these people have over the young generation on TikTok. And it's why I told you I am joining TikTok and I am starting to put content over there as well, because they need to see other voices, okay? And why you don't just transition. So with that, thanks for liking and subscribing, all of the stuff you do to help this channel grow. Thank you so much. But I really want to show you the timeline of how this person became trans and how they became this huge influencer and how much insane cash these people make off of being trans. And also, all of these gigantic trans influencers buddy with each other. The funny thing to me is they're all males who want to be females. Those are the biggest trans influencers, all men wanting to be women. Go figure. So with that, let me show you. Also, oh, there was the one thing I wanted to mention before I move to the next one. This idea of girlhood, okay? 1,408 whatever days of girlhood. So you're a man who transitioned to be a girl, and you're still saying you're a girl, and now you transition to be a girl, which is a minor. So you're transitioning from a grown adult ass man to become a girl. That should be red flags right there. I'm sure you all are smart. You're all smart and you all got it. But I just want to reiterate, this person is transitioning to girlhood. It's very creepy and very disturbing. So let me move forward here to the next ones. I'm going to show you the timeline. This is, I think, one of the very first videos that Dylan posted. So it literally says gays trying to enjoy nature. And there's Dylan, the boy, or the man, the man, sorry about that. The man, there's Dylan the man, okay? Gay man trying to enjoy nature, okay? Giggling like the way Dylan giggles, okay? Now, all of a sudden, in the timeline of this person's TikTok, maybe, I don't know, it was 10 or so more videos. It was insane. I had to go through it. You're welcome. No, I'm just kidding. I had more cups of coffee. It was actually insane. So I actually plugged baby girl's ears. So here's, I think, into it. This is where it starts.
It's a they question of the day. This is going to be a longer one, so bear with me. A friend asks, how did I come to the conclusion that I was non-binary, and is it something that I always felt? What a perfect question for my coming out story. So it all started when I came out of the womb tap dancing in a bedazzled onesie. Just kidding, I'm gonna fast forward. I didn't know about the non-binary gender identity till spring of 2020, and that's coming from an out and proud member of the LGBTQ plus community. It wasn't until a few of my peers came out on social media and a global pandemic had to happen for me to actually think, wait, is that what I am? I was extremely feminine growing up, And it's interesting because when I came out to my mom as non-binary, afterwards she told me that when I was 4 years old, I came to her and I said, Mom, I think God made a mistake and put a girl into a boy's body. And she, of course, said, no, God doesn't make mistakes. But how crazy that a 4-year-old could understand the concept of gender and knew that something was wrong. Growing up, I was...
How crazy? What are you talking about? Kids do that shit all the time, Dylan. Okay, so I just wanted to show you. This is such a great video. He's exposing, and I'm going to say he, okay, because they're still, or they. So they went their post of a gay man, then they part of the LGBTQ. Yeah, you were a gay man. You were identifying as a gay man. And then all of a sudden now you're a they, them, okay? You didn't know anything about they, them until the pandemic. Exposed it right there. This is when all the kids went nuts and all the kids were on TikTok and everything was becoming a complete shit show, and how he got indoctrinated right there. He just said it. He didn't know about it until the pandemic, until he got on TikTok. This is TikTok. So this is so great because he's literally exposing the whole way that he got indoctrinated. So he went from a gay man now to a non-binary, okay?
I am a trans non-binary actor and have had trouble finding roles. So my friend wrote me a femme character in a commercial.
So there you go. This person was a theater kid, said it from the beginning of the video. You don't understand theater, kids, okay? And then this is all an act because he's a theater kid. And then he had trouble getting roles as a non-binary trans person back in 2020, okay? So his friend wrote him a role. See the progression of it? Here it comes, the progression of it all. He's just a theater kid, okay? He's a great actor. Well, I don't know. Is he a great actor? He's a very theatrical actor. This is very theatrical in the way they move and the way they talk and the way it's perfect for TikTok. Okay. So this here, watch this. This is so.
Here it goes. I am a girl. I am a trans woman. My new pronouns are she and they. And I suppose that this is my coming out video of sorts. While I was non-binary, I would often say that I felt less and less like a boy every day. But now I realize it really was every day I was feeling more and more like a girl. And I didn't know that. Was so scared and a little bit ashamed to even consider myself back on the binary as a trans woman. But ultimately, I have to honor that's who I am. And that's who I am supposed to be. You know, when I was 4 years old, I came to my mom and I said, I am a girl. And, you know, God made a mistake. And she said, you know, God doesn't make mistakes, but I'm not a mistake. I'm here for a reason. And now it feels like I get to honor that inner child within me that knew that so long ago. And I finally get to be that person. And I really am so excited for you to all meet girl Dylan. And she's really excited to meet you too. Because she is so ready to be here. And she has been for a really long time. I love you. Bye.
Okay, so this is a grown-ass man, okay? It's a man who's now a girl. Now he found a grift. He found a way to get, because he wasn't getting roles. He said it right there. He wasn't getting any roles. So now he's becoming he went from gay man to non-binary to now non-binary trans, okay? Gateway. And now he's starting to get attention because it's the first day of girlhood. I'm a grown man. I'm dressed like a little girl. And all the kids are eating it up. All the kids are totally eating it up, okay? So now, fast forward, because I could never show you all. It's just the most insane TikTok. Okay, so now watch this.
Miss you all already. And I'm doing well. So thank you for supporting me. And I love you so much. Thank you. Love ya.
So into facial feminization surgery, which is part of transitioning for men becoming women. They feminize their face. But So now, again, targeting young people to show that you can get facial feminization in order to become non-binary trans. Oh my God, it's so gross and disgusting. So there we are now showing the surgery, which, as far as I'm concerned, I don't see difference, because the thing is that Dylan is always wearing makeup, so you're not necessarily seeing the face. But I don't see much of a change, if any of a change. Okay, so I don't even know what that facial feminization is. So now, next one.
Hi, is this an okay time? Oh my God, I missed you. It has been far too long since we had a proper catch up, so I have a lot of updates. Booby drumroll. We are on. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is that a spider? Oh my God. Oh, it's a spider. Oh my God. 1 second. Oh, what do I do with it? What do I do with it? It's going down. It's going down. I apologize for that brief interruption. I am not proud of my behavior, but spiders are my worst fear. And I got the spider outside, and then I forgot I was making a video, but now I'm back. Hi. We're on day 615 since coming out. Woohoo! And I feel so settled in my transition, and I'm starting to have days where it isn't on my mind like 24/7, and I can just exist. I started a new hormone called progesterone, which at times kind of causes a pinch of depression for me, but it is very feminizing, and that feels like an equal trade-off in my mind. I still have quite a bit of dysphoria, but I'm seeing the efforts that I put in this past year really start to kick in. Waiting for some doctor's appointments, waiting for the electrolysis to like finally work. But I think we're moving and grooving here, people. And I haven't been making content as much because my mental health hasn't been the greatest. But I have been working on a lot of other things that I think you'll be really excited about. Like, I'm trying to get a live show together for next year, and the strike is over, and I'm dating, which I think...
So now they are talking about the drugs. Remember, don't forget, the whole reason I'm doing this video is the target audience. The target audience is kids, okay? And now Dylan is talking about anxiety, depression, how progesterone is giving them depression, how they're not posting much, but they're working on a new theater show. So then Dylan starts to more get into finding other people who are influential within the transgender influence community. And so this next one is very disturbing for me, and I'll tell you why, but watch this.
You have my phone!
Mercury, please pick up. There's someone at the door.
Dylan!
This is incredible timing, Mercury!
Oh, so good to see
Welcome
you!
to LA.
Hey, Dylan, we're actually here for something.
Come on in!
Oh, yeah, no, Dylan!
The roof is right here.
Yeah, I know,
Can I get you
Dylan.
a beer maybe or something?
Sorry, yeah.
Have a seat.
Okay, thank you. Hey,
Let's talk roof. How do we fix it?
oh, well, actually, we were here for something else, Dylan.
Yeah, we're here to raise $4 million for gender-affirming care through an organization called Point of Pride.
For trans people.
By trans people.
And we're going to be doing a live stream March 29th, 30th, and 31st.
So come to our pages and click the link to RSVP.
And remember, if you're not able to donate money, that's okay. All we need is your eyeballs, because we live in a...
Attention-based economy.
Yeah, attention-based economy.
So you're not here for the roof.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Did you at least bring stooling?
Well, of course I did. Yeah!
I mean, if that doesn't disturb you. So they want to raise money to help trans kids get gender affirming care, okay? And this is a grown ass, that one is that weird I'm going to do one on that one. The handyman, the trans handyman, who's a trans, obviously, I don't need to even tell you, the creepiest creep. Again, acting like young children. These are grown adults. It's so creepy. It's so effing creepy. Believe me, in years to come, they're going to dig up dirt on these people. And hopefully it's not years, but just like they did on all the other children's TV shows and what was going on behind the scenes. I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. That's a nervous creep laugh. Like, what? So there's Dylan partnering with the creeps, right? To raise money, because they even said the more eyeballs we have on it, the better. So they actually even know what they're doing, okay? So this one, because of course, this.
Trans Republican.
Oh!
Hello, Hollywood.
I wonder what it'd be like to make money off of like the far right and telling people that trans people are bad.
I wonder what it would be like to make money off the trans community and telling everyone in the trans community that anyone who doesn't listen to what you're saying is a bad person. Dylan, are you insane?
There's such a weird trans influencer pipeline to being conservative, because at a certain point they've mined all of the stuff that they can talk about, so then they go, I guess I'm now far right. And it's crazy.
Yes.
There's all these dolls on the internet who are like, I have guns. And it's like, what are you doing?
I did one beer ad and it could have gone that way.
Thank God. Thank God the backlash. Thank God.
That's what really put a stop to it, was I think that's where we were headed.
That is so funny. That is beyond funny.
There's nothing funny about it, first off. So why is it a problem for a trans person to be a conservative? You know, the problem is you people keep influencing children to cut off their boobs and take hormones at 15. You're disgusting. So here you go, right? This is why I'm telling you, it is very cult-like in that community. If you go against their narrative, they don't want you, like, so what if you have guns? So what if the dolls are more conservative? I have a lot of doll trans women friends who are conservative, a lot more than you would ever even imagine, because they see it. They see it just like I do. Okay, Tory, Blair, they see it. They're not dumb. They're also Christians, which these people will probably talk shit about as well. Because that's the thing. If you don't belong to their narrative, you are this bad person, instead of saying, and then they're all such hypocrites. You know, we're all different. We all have a different path. Oh, but you can't be X, Y, and Z. You know, the whole LGBTQIA++ plus community has always been this way, that you have to be a liberal, you have to be a Democrat, you have to follow these guidelines, you're not allowed to be. It's always been that way. That's why the conservatives within the community have always been there, but they haven't been out and about with them because they get ostracized from the community. It's a bullshit community that you have to sort of adhere to their ways of being. So now I'm going to show you this person. Luke is such the creep of the creeps, and they all, JVN, Luke, this freak, the handyman, they all hang out together. Okay, that should tell you something. And they're all obsessed with transitioning children. So of course, Dylan gets a Luke on Dylan's podcast, which didn't do very well, by the way.
What were the steps that you think that someone like I needed to take in order to get through that healing?
I think a lot of people don't have a self-concept. They only know themselves through what their parents, their religions, their cultures have told them that they should be. Mm-hmm. And in order to heal, you have to break up with that false self that was created to please the people around you.
Okay, enough. I just had to show you that because this dude, Luke, always blows my mind. He's always dressed like that, with a hairy chest. Who's taking you seriously? Who is? And it's like, again, they're targeting young people. And then Dylan trying to be all serious. What could I have done to heal? Maybe go to therapy. Maybe don't have these weirdos on your show and asking them advice. Would you ask somebody like this for advice on how to actually be part of the world? You don't want to be, people don't want to be a part of the world. You want to be out, which is fine. I have no issues with people being, I remember when I was young, I always was pushing against everything. That's completely about that. You're not young. You are like a 40-year-old man dressed like that. It's so insane. So now Dylan is in the position of being a huge influencer, millions of followers, making brand deals, making bank, buying houses, traveling the world. Then I find this one.
There was a butter brand trip, like actual butter in Ireland, Kerry Gold. They took people to Ireland with the butter. That's what I want to be on. I hope that the butter company's not transphobic Trans people love butter too. In Ireland, I think they might be kind of progressive. I'm trans. Wait, yeah, I'm trans. I'm Irish.
Completely forgot they were trans because they're waking up drunk, in my opinion. They seem totally wasted. And so now they are talking about being part of the Kerry Gold brand deal. But they literally forgot that they're trans. I'm trans. Wait, yeah, I'm trans. You forgot. You forgot because you're not. You're not. You don't have to think about trans is not an identity. It's not something you wake up every morning and think I'm trans. Okay, that's how I can always clock these people. They've created an identity for themselves. I showed you the timeline, how Dylan was a gay man, wasn't getting any attention, became non-binary during COVID because they started getting attention, created just ripped onto like somehow getting into this idea of girlhood and became super popular and then literally transitioned to be an influencer. That I believe it. In my heart, in my opinion, this person transitioned because they're getting so much attention and they're getting everything they ever wanted because they didn't get it as a effeminate gay man. That's the scary part of all of this. And these are influencing young gay men possibly and young gay women and girls. This one telling.
I used to cry and dance to myself and sing this in the mental hospital to get my nurse's attention back when I was manic. Official queefinator? Fucking same.
Admitting their mental illness right there. Admit fucking same. So you were in the hospital dealing with whatever you were dealing with. And then now, so the most important, I think, message I want to make in this video today is these people have issues that they're not dealing with. And unless you continue to work on yourself and try to transitioning is about coexisting in the world. It's not about being trans. It's about fixing whatever's going on with your gender dysphoria as an adult and moving forward in the world. It's not about influencing young kids to become trans, because when Dylan decides that Dylan made a mistake and Dylan just goes back, what about all those kids where I just picture Dylan as the Pied Piper, just do, and all these little kids following behind, shooting hormones, ripping out their breasts, having facial feminization. And then when Dylan goes off to the right, and the kids are just left standing there all alone, which is what's happening with detransitioners. Picture that in your mind. That's what's happening with this very powerfully influential person. So now I'm progressing to the end of their TikTok, right? So now as they're like a big influencer traveling the world, looking a little bit more wrecked every day. Okay, watch.
Can I please tell you how delusional I am? I'm not delusional because I'm trans. I'm delusional because I just got a box in the mail that's like from TikTok. It says it's from TikTok. And my first thought was, oh, it must be an award. I must have gotten some sort of milestone that I didn't know about. I open it up. It's Chinese honey. Chinese honey that I bought on Ambien like 5 weeks ago. And I didn't remember. It was like 3 a.m. No recollection. But how stupid am I that like I bought this from the app and like of course it says it's from TikTok. Like it's not from the TikTok corporation did not send me this box of Chinese honey. I can't even remember why I bought this.
Wow.
But the only other thing I've really bought on TikTok shop is like sleeping pills, which now that I'm thinking about it is also probably not a good thing to do. They kind of work. Not as good as Ambien, but we'll take what we can get.
This person is influencing kids and talking about taking Ambien and being fucked up and ordering shit on TikTok at 3 a.m. in the morning. Wow. Just wow. This is why kids shouldn't be on TikTok. It literally shouldn't be, like showing how messy you've become. What a total mess. So then there's this one.
Day 38 of being a girl, and these are the things that I wish I could tell my younger self. One day, you won't feel like a freak. Your Twilight obsession does not go away. You never belonged in the boys' locker room, and you knew it. And I'm sorry that you had to endure what you did. You are allergic to tequila, and even though you really love frozen margaritas, it's just never going to be worth it. If he is ashamed of talking to you in public, he has no right to your vulnerability in private. Do not blast Pitch Perfect in your car the first day you get your driver's license. You will get into a car accident and never listen to Pitch Perfect the same way again. Do not let certain adults dim your shine. You have something special that they don't have, and it scares them. Stay close to the adults that celebrate your femininity. And lastly, I am so sorry for taking this long to find ourselves, but I promise to take care of us the best that I can from here on out. Love ya.
OMG, it's so twisted. Dylan is reacting to themselves back in the day. Like I said, someone just tagged me in this from 3 years ago and I hadn't rewatched it. It is so cringe. And so see what's happening? Dylan is telling young feminine boys who possibly are gay like they are that they can become a transgender non-binary and they'll be much happier. That's the message from that video, in my opinion. And I find it homophobic. I find the whole TikTok Dylan homophobic. I find it very disturbing in the sense that this person has a huge platform of young people, as we know. And the fact that the transgender community highlights people like this says everything to me. Says everything to me. It says that they don't care. They don't care about these young people. They care about, because remember, I think there's a saying, power in numbers. Power in numbers. So the more people you get influenced to become trans, the more powerful the movement becomes. So the more young people that are now trans, you can open clinics, you can get these older adult people do not care about these young people's. They care about themselves, and they care about making money, and they care about being influencers, and they care about being popular. They're just the popular people in high school that everyone else wants to be with. All the young kids want to be in the popular group. And that's how I see the trans community today. The trans influencers are the popular group in high school. And all the unpopular kids want to be the popular kids. Today, I'm going to show you a clip from a recent live interview that I did with a detransitioner male to female. He transitioned for 30 years and detransitioned like 3 or so years ago. Anyway, this particular piece I'm going to show you today, I think is very important and so profound. And I think it's so important that we get this to a lot of young people who are thinking of transitioning, because the information he's giving us is gold on so many levels. So with that, I'm not going to sit here and take up your time. I really want you to watch it. It's just like a 10-minute clip. But really, if you do like it and you like the video, it would really mean a lot to me. And comments are always welcome, as well as subscribing to the channel and helping me grow this channel has been really such a great journey that I've been taking with you to bring you all this amazing, important information. So with no further ado, here it is.
And I just decided at that moment, I'm never going back. I can't do this anymore. So I went and saw some doctors and started detransitioning.
Wow, it's pretty heavy, friend. So I remember at the beginning of our conversation, you said a lot of gay and lesbian people transitioned back in the day, probably more gay men than anything, because of the homophobia, and it was much harder to live openly gay. And I think that might have even been during the AIDS crisis. And so was that, if I missed it, I apologize, but was that part of the catalyst to push you into living as a woman?
Transitioning? Absolutely. I don't think I realized it at the time. I don't think I made like a conscious decision of, I'm going to do this so I can survive.
Right.
I just did it because I was pretty, I was young, worked, and life was easier. So I did it.
Wow.
And now looking back, that's absolutely what I did.
Wow. Thank you for your honesty. It's really a brave and awesome and powerful that you have the capacity to be so honest about your transition. And, you know, you're a very handsome man, so I'm pretty sure you were probably a very beautiful woman. No, seriously, I can imagine that your transition worked very well for you in the passing. So pretty much, did you pass living as a woman most of the time? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
The only thing that gave me away is that I was 6'3". But so no heels.
Right.
But I'm Eastern European, so 6'3" Eastern European women are not unusual.
True. Yes.
So I had more often than not, I ended up arguing with people because they would, you're not trans. Yeah, yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes.
Yeah.
I think I would know. I think I would know. You're arguing with me about what I am. But no, I never had problems really. And then when I detransitioned, I had no idea what I was going to look like. And I was very worried. And so I was like, okay, I guess we're just going to let everything go and just see what happens. And I didn't look in the mirror for a few days. I just refused to do it. I covered all my mirrors in my house. So it was like a Greek funeral. I just covered all my mirrors.
So you had no problems growing facial hair or any of...
Oh, no.
So, do you mind if I ask this personal question? And of course, anything I say, I respect you saying no.
Yeah, you can ask me whatever you want.
Did you get any type of surgery? Did you get breast surgery or bottom surgery?
I had no bottom surgery.
Okay.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
I did, however, make the mistake that trans women make, which is getting injectable Restylane.
What's that?
In the silicone boob job. Did injected. Yeah. Fortunately, I got mine done here, so it was safer. I went to France and got it done. So I didn't get pumped in a dirty hotel room. But all of that had to be dissolved. And that was a process that took about 1.5 years. And so that sucked. But no, I'm fine now. But it was very, very painful. It was very painful and it was very expensive. And I was lucky in the sense that I didn't make the mistake of going all the way. If I had have gone all the way, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. I would be dead. Because at that moment of realization, it would have been, being the dramatic creature that I am, I would have done something like, find a viper and go out a la Cleopatra style and demand to be buried like Ava Perón.
Well, you deserve it, but I'm glad you didn't. I hear you. And it's why, no. Thank you again for being so candid, because young people need to see this and they need to see, you better chill out on the bottom and any surgery, you better chill out on that. You know, I don't know if you know, because you live in Europe, in Italy, but here in the States, they're literally doing what they call top surgery, right? Removing the breasts of young girls as young as the age of 13. They'll tell you they're not doing it, but I have proof. I've already interviewed 13-year-old kids and I show you videos of them. They're actually operating on 13 and 14-year-old young girls and removing their breasts. You made your choices as an adult. It's why whoever's not okay with it, they just need to move on, because you're an adult and you did what you needed to do. I'm fully against. Well, and also you just said, thank God I didn't do that because I would not be here anymore. And I don't think people are thinking ahead. Right. Well, so what's going to happen with these young girls? Yeah.
They are going to realize that there is no going back. Once
right.
it's gone. It's not like you can just go to the doctor and get a boob job.
Yeah, that's right.
And if you can, you are going to look mutilated. You are going to never be okay with your body. If there are any young trans people that are listening right now that are considering doing this, listen to me when I tell you. You will not be able to go back. You will not be the same. You will never be the same again. And if You can. You think that your body dysmorphia is bad now? Wait until after that.
Mm-hmm.
Do not do that unless you are someone like Buck, who has thought about this for years and went through the process and went through therapy and dealt with your inner demons. And then consider it. Do not do this because some fucking malaka on TikTok told you that you need to do it, or because some quiz online said, oh, you're transgender because you like Barbie. That is not a reason to mutilate your body, because it is not easy to go back. I made it look easy. I make it sound easy because we're not going to go into the shit that I've been through, because Buck's channel will probably get demonetized if we talk about it. But trust me when I'm saying this to you, you cannot go back. You can, if you're just taking hormones and you take them for a few years, you'll probably be okay. You might be. Depends on the person. It's different for everybody. But once you start having surgeries, once you start messing with your body, once you start messing with your face, once you start getting all these facial feminization surgeries, you are never going to be able to go back, because fillers do not get dissolved. They have to be removed. You cannot just go and Kylie Jenner your face. It doesn't work that way. She has millions of dollars and she had a deep clean facelift. That's not the same thing that you're going to have access to.
That's right.
And it is not something to play around with. It is not a trend. It's not bad. Unfortunately, it seems to be, and people think that, but it is not. It is a life altering decision that you will never be the same after. Either way. You need to know that's what you want.
Disgusting. Just disgusting.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Sorry. I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building. Potentially the largest fraud scandal in U.S. history is taking place in Minnesota, as literally billions of dollars have been funneled through Somali-ran fraudulent businesses. So much fraud, it could actually almost replace the entire GDP of Somalia. These fraudsters have worked hand in hand with the Minnesota government as they enabled billions of dollars to be given to fraudulent businesses underneath welfare purposes. Some of this money eventually landed in the hands of terrorist groups in Somalia, like the Al-Shabaab, and others enriched themselves all at the US taxpayers' expense. And in this video, we will break down all of the fraud from start to finish, from going to the fraudulent businesses and confronting the people who are making millions of dollars from the government. And we will also be confronting the incompetent government leaders who let this fraud happen. And to make this happen, I met up with a man who's been doing his own investigation for years now, as he has seen the fraud firsthand. His name is David. Let's get into it.
OMG. Really? This is actually, like, of course, what comes into it? Race. It is, we all could have made a bet on that one. This is a totally bipartisan issue, okay? We should not be Democrats against Republicans. It should not be any of that. It should be, this is all of our tax money. Republicans, Democrats, independents, whatever you are, if you're an American and you're paying taxes, you should be pissed, because this dude, Nick, did an amazing job in this video. I'm not going to show the whole video. I'll put a link to it. You should watch it if you haven't. You probably have. I'm pretty sure you have. It is actually mind-blowing. And of course, what comes from this? Immediately, white supremacy, because it's a white dude actually looking into where our money is going. And then I can't. This year, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this racist shit. We're not going to do this. If you're white, you can't say anything. We're not going to do this. Your tax dollars don't need to be looked into. No, we're just not. We're all fed up with it, okay? I'm not racist, and I'm tired of being called racist because I disagree with certain things. Also, I am also going to be doing one on the BLM movement, because now another really insane thing came out of that. So whatever you want to say about racism, you have to put that over to the side here, because it has nothing to do with the fact that these people are black people. It has everything to do with fraud. Okay, there's a big difference between racism and fraud. So when you do fraud, you're going to get busted, hopefully, and then you're going to get called out. So with that, Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. We got to 200,000 over the New Year's, actually New Year's Day, I think it was. I had a horrible weekend. I lost my dog, and it's just insane. But that being said, I'm going to make this year a very awesome year and really make you all proud, for lack of a better word, of this channel and the fact that you subscribe to it. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's move forward, because I found some really great videos here that I think will sort of put the storyline together for us here. The whole racist shit, they immediately went after racism.
This is what happens when they target communities for their own benefit. This is what happens when they scapegoat. And this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy.
So it sounds to me, Nick, that Governor Tim Walz is saying that you and others that are out there trying to expose this, you're doing it because you're white supremacists. What is your response to him?
Yeah, Tim wants votes. There are entire apartment complexes where white people have been pushed out of these apartment complexes because Somalians have taken over, and they're inside of these towns like Minneapolis, where they can go get votes from these people. And if you have 100,000 people that will vote for you because you're going to enable and let this stuff happen, and because you're going to call a white person racist for calling out facts, this is what's going to happen to a state like Minnesota. Minnesotans, they say Minnesota nice, but they are very upset. And I fully understand why they're upset, because they don't have a governor who's actually working for them. He's actually working against them.
Oh, it sounds like California, by the way. We need to get rid of all these insane governors. How they completely skirt the issue and go straight to, they're targeting these people. They're not targeting. This is an actual thing. This dude exposed an actual fact. There's facts. I can again lay this completely over transphobic. If you question transitioning children, or you question trans stuff, or you question the fact that we have a shit ton of detransitioners, you're immediately transphobic. They skirt the issue by calling you names. So this is a governor calling somebody who did his own research, okay, and went out and did it and uncovered an insane fraud thing. And now he's not even addressing the fraud. He's addressing the guy's color of his skin, which should make us all, including black people, pissed off about that, because it has nothing to do with that. And it has to do with Somalians, okay? It doesn't have to do with black people. You happen to be black, but it has nothing to do with that.
Nick, your video's been viewed 93 million times. What do you think will be the result of this? Do you think that things will change because of bringing attention to this, or do you think it'll be much the same, swept under the rug and keep moving forward?
Yeah, there better be change. People are demanding it.
Right on.
The investigations have been launched just from that video alone. And so there better be change, because, like I said, we work way too hard to be paying taxes. We work way too hard to be not knowing where our money's going. And at the end of the day, people in the government, they work for us. We don't work for them. And so it's their responsibility to hold these people accountable. And so if there's not something that's happened, people are going to be very frustrated. And so if President Trump's watching this, it's time to really get down to nitty gritty and to make a difference in this place of Minnesota that is pretty much like Somaliland right now.
Wow, it's just the whole thing blows my mind. But, when nobody's checked, when there's no checks and balances, they're just going to keep sucking out the money. Like, how much was it? Like $9 billion? Like, are you effing kidding me? Yeah, there's kids in this country who most definitely need that. But when this dude went, knocked on doors. Oh, and then I saw some videos of these Somalian groups on TikTok where they were saying that they were knocking on the back door of the unit. No, they were not. We all have eyes and we all can see it was literally the front door of a learning center spelled wrong as well. You're sending your kid, and no kids, literally no kids. And they can't even say why there were no kids. And this guy is so awesome. He was like, I want to put my kid into the daycare center. And they're just like, what? What are you talking about? Put your kid in the daycare center. I didn't even know. Half of them didn't even speak any English, which is also not okay. I lived in a foreign country, okay? You learn the language. You have to assimilate into the country. And like, I think almost all of the things that he went to, none of them spoke any English. And then this one lady started calling him up. She doesn't like him because he's white. Like, yeah, so there's that.
A 23-year-old revealed massive fraud by Somali immigrants in Tim Walz's Minnesota. The fraud was obvious, but practically no one called it out. Why? Come on. Isn't it obvious? It's because they're black immigrants and people are afraid of being called racist.
Bam. This dude is actually from Africa too. So you know what? And I love the fact, you watch, black people are calling this out left and right, okay? He says it as it is. People are too scared to say anything because you're going to get called a racist. Fuck that. Call me I'm sorry that somebody actually wrote me the other day, like, can you stop dropping the fuck bombs? Okay, I will actually try, but I get so irritated. That being said, yeah, no, it's not okay. It's not okay that this is happening, and it's not okay that it's now being, it's what it's called is gaslighting, and you're trying to skirt the issue by using something else so that people are too scared to say it.
Duh.
The people here are so afraid of being called a racist or an Islamophobe, and they're afraid of their own shadow, and I don't understand. This is our future generations are going to have to pay for all this fraud. And they just want to bury their heads in the sand and go on and just not worry about it.
Here's how the fraud works. Members of the Somali community set up daycares and healthcare companies. Many were clustered together. 22 healthcare facilities listed in one building. These businesses received millions of dollars of Minnesota taxpayer money, but many appear to be fronts. The investigator visited over a dozen childcare centers. No children at any of them. One learning center misspelled learning on their sign. The FBI confirmed they're investigating fraud networks within this community. Federal prosecutors say the total fraud could be as high as 9 to 10 billion. And people are tiptoeing around it, but this fraud is being perpetrated by members of a specific group, Somalian immigrants. Now, Governor Walz says pointing this out is white supremacy.
This is what happens when they target communities for their own benefit. This is what happens when they scapegoat. And this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy.
They target communities for their own benefit. No, nobody's targeting a community. It happens to be that community, okay? And what benefit? The benefit for the actual taxpayers, which is what you should be doing, Tim Walz. What are you doing, dude? You need to also be put in jail. I'm so sick of these governors running our states and just destroying everything about, I do live in California. I know a lot of you don't like it here, but I'll tell you what, this state is not, it's not bad, the people here, seriously, but we have such bad management. It's like having like a store that you love going to, but it sucks because the management, and they never have the favorite cheese you want in or the great meats or any of that, because the management is not listening to the actual people who shop at the store. So our management is so fucked up in these through the F-bomb. So, whatever. Okay, I'm just not even going to go there. But it's literally that.
No, Governor. Pointing out fraud is principled. We're not criticizing you because of race. You're using race to escape criticism. Maybe that's why call sheet users give him a 69% chance of being charged with a federal crime.
Wow.
Now, as someone whose parents immigrated from Africa, let me explain something. Humans are hardware. Culture is software. Our hardware is fundamentally the same. Our software is wildly different. Right. America's software prioritizes universal principles, the nation state, and the rule of law. That's the Constitution. The software of developing countries often prioritizes tribe, heritage, customs. That's okay, but it's different. I've been to Ghana 3 times. My parents are from there, and I feel like an alien when I visit. Because same hardware, different software. In many places,
I have to tell you, if you don't follow this guy, I think it's called Clear Thinker. He's so great and he's so on and he calls out all the bullshit, racist crap. And like, yeah, okay, I said he was from Africa, his parents. But that being said, like, you see how he's coming to America with a whole different mindset and coming to understand it's I'm going to say it is the Democrat liberals who put all this shit on the table and started calling everybody a racist and a transphobe and shutting down conversation. So the only way you make things better for any groups of people is by having conversation and having disagreement. As you know, I like to bring up my interview or my debate with Charlie Kirk. We fully disagree on all kinds of stuff. Okay? I hope you're doing good, my friend. But that being said, we disagreed, but we walked away with such a powerful space that we sat in together. That's what this guy is saying here. You can't just start calling everybody a racist because you don't like what's happening.
It's deflection by Tim Walz to try. It's worked so long for specifically the Democrats to deflect and to call people racist, to call them Islamophobic, to call them Nazis, to call them a white supremacist, whatever it may be. It's been a deflection tactic by the left to get people to turn a blind eye while they've been funneling millions and billions of dollars to these companies. And now people are sick of it. It's not racist to call out fraud. It's not racist to say that, oh yeah, maybe Somalis in Minnesota, these Somali-ran businesses, not all Somalis are bad, but it's not racist to say that a Somali-ran business is committing fraud. If a white business was committing fraud, we'd also be saying the same thing. And we are saying the same thing when we talk about fraud as well. I'm not trying to point this as a left or right issue. I'm trying to show that fraud is fraud. Literally, Alex, me and you, we work hard. Every American works hard. And it's not fun whether it's...
Okay, there you go. The guy just broke it all down. It's just fraud. Fraud is fraud. Calling out fraud is not white supremacy, okay? And so if you're going to start throwing every single one of you American people, I don't care where you come from, what color skin you are, how you identify, whatever, if you pay taxes in this country, you should be so pissed about this situation. Why? Anyway, that's the whole point of immigration, for us to welcome other cultures into our country if they're willing to go along with the way our country is run. I told you, and I will tell you again, I lived in Mexico for 10 years. You think I could just come there and decide I'm not going to participate? I got checked every 6 months. They had to see I had to show them what was in my bank account. I had to show the people I was hiring, what am I doing for the country, all of that. How come I had to do that in Mexico? But if you do that here, you're a white supremacist.
I'm on my way, y'all. They've been threatening to take my life if I come to Minnesota, so I'm on my way. I'm about to put together some sweatshirts, some t-shirts, so that you can fight, so that you can support the cause, because I'm about to travel the United States of America and figure out what's going on with Americans. I don't care nothing else about nobody who's not an American. Now, I don't put no black in front of it, don't put no white in front of it. I'm not fighting for no racial causes. I'm fighting for America. We will not be the UK. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Jihad my motherfucking ass. It won't happen here, not on my watch. But they said they're gonna take me up out of here if I come to Minnesota, so I'm on my way. We're gonna start some fundraising. We're gonna somebody start me a motherfucking GoFundMe. I am on my way. I don't think I'll come back home for another year from now. I think I'll just be traveling around causing motherfucking hell for everybody who ain't American. That's what I think I'll be doing. Here I come.
Love it. Love it. It's just so awesome. You know, they're trying to break us up. They're trying to create racism so that we don't come together as people in this country. Okay. So this is what I'm showing you. All these black people are like, what are you talking about, man? That is our money. We're Americans first. Okay. We're not black and white issue. And so I just love how powerful. Watch this next one.
So I'm doing it, y'all. I'm moving to Minnesota and I'm opening up a daycare. And I'm calling it Fuck Them Kids Layering Center.
I didn't drop the F-bomb. It's just so genius. Yeah, that's how insane it is. It's actually insane. Let's just all go open up daycare centers, which is actually creepy. You could just open up a daycare center. What are you talking? Don't you have to have licensing and deep background checks? It's so crazy. $9 billion. My God.
So let's get into it, and I know that this is going to ruffle some feathers, but I don't give a fuck. Go get your Somalian sisters over in Minnesota. yelling at people and cussing them out because they're getting caught for fraud in full hijab. This is telling people they don't like them because their skin is white in full hijab.
Yep.
Kicking people off the property of the mosque because they're investigating allegedly at the mosque in Minnesota. It's mostly a Somalian community. So they were basically reports from Somalian women that they were enforcing Sharia law at the mosque in Minnesota. So the government went in to investigate. However, it was not founded. But also none of the Somalian women or the community will speak. But when these people go there and ask if they can put their kids in daycares, they are met with the utmost resistance.
The thing I also want to say is this, like, if these daycare centers are being funded by our tax money, yet the Somalians are telling you that you can't put your kid in the daycare center that we are actually funding, the whole thing is so insane. And also, I don't know if you caught that in the beginning, they're funding terrorist groups in Somalia with our money. When are you guys all going to wake up? When are you all going to wake up? The jihad shit, the whole like Muslim terrorist crap. Like, come on, man. Wake up. It has nothing to do with Democrat or this. They are totally playing on your heartstrings on some level. They are completely gaslighting you. They are completely manipulating the way you think about shit. They are laughing all the way to the terrorist bank.
The Somalian community is being very disrespectful. There's hundreds of videos online.
Yeah.
In full hijab. I just want to ask them all the people want to know is where did the billions of dollars go? I'm sorry, I got on here and said 3 million before. It's over that. It's 100 million. They said it's almost in the billions.
Yeah.
The fraud in Minnesota from the Somalian community.
Wow.
Where did the money go? Where did the money go? Because there's people right now in New Jersey and in the United States that cannot get childcare.
That's right.
Because you guys are siphoning $100 million from the government for a daycare Ponzi scheme. One of the daycares now, we did do some research, one of the daycares was shut down. They had hella strikes against them for negligence to children and whatever, one of the Somalian daycares. So the state shut them down. They all have crazy violations at these daycares, even the ones that are still open. But don't worry, I'm going to do my own investigative work today. I'll be calling those daycares to see if I can enroll my children, to see if there's really kids there, to see if they're really operating as a daycare. All right, thanks for having me.
You know what's so great? Everyone's going to totally do this now. They're going to have to shut down because they're so exposed. Everyone's going there and going to be like, can I enroll my kid? There's no kids in the daycare center that we are giving billions of dollars to. This is going to be huge. It just is starting. There's going to be more investigations on more of where our money is going. How are we funding? We're funding terrorist groups. It is actually insane to me how we are just, how we've become this sort of liberal, poor people, except white people. Oh, they're just suffering. No, they're not. They're laughing all the way to the bank. They're laughing all the way to the bank. And now that I have a kid, okay, and well, I already had a kid, but I wasn't really around when he was going to daycare. I started, I think, 7. Well, he was, I think, in daycare, but it's not cheap. It is not cheap to send your kid. There are some people who have to work 2 and 3 jobs, okay, and take their kid to daycare just to keep in a home, food, diapers. That shit costs money, man. I know how much I'm dishing out right now. That's basically what I got for Christmas was diapers and baby wipes. I know I'm trying to make light of this, but it's not funny. This is not funny. This is not okay. Nick did an amazing job, whatever you think of the guy. The other thing that I thought was kind of interesting was this is ABC. So, of course, you know, the media is so divided like they always are, left and right and this and that. You know, nobody can just say the fucking story how it is. So that being said, I went, because if you notice that most of this, I think, was like Alex Jones. Whatever you think of Alex Jones, I don't really give a shit, okay? Whatever, put that over here. Are any of the liberal stations having this Nick Shirley guy on? Because I don't think they are. So I just want to play this one thing here that I found from ABC, which is a more liberal station. But this is the little reel that I found from them. And listen to the tone of it.
This morning, a growing investigation into what's been described as rampant fraud involving taxpayer money that was supposed to be spent on social services in Minnesota. The sweeping investigation targets dozens of suspected fraudulent businesses accused of misusing public money, intended to support everything from school lunches to childcare to housing assistance. It comes after an unverified video posted online from conservative influencer Nick Shirley went viral, supposedly exposing fraud at daycares across Minnesota. This video shows Shirley visiting multiple daycare centers, which he claims got public funds, despite appearing not to have any children present when he visited. While officials have disputed the allegations, others say the matter needs to be taken seriously.
I think we have questions around when were these visits. For instance, were they during times that the center was scheduled to be open? Was it during the weekend?
Now, the Deputy Health and Human Services Secretary says their agency is tightening requirements for payments from the Administration for Children and Families to all states, requiring a justification and a receipt or photo evidence.
My office, ACF, provides Minnesota $185 million in child care funds each year. That money should be helping 19,000 American children, including toddlers and infants. Any dollar stolen by fraudsters is stolen from those children.
That's right.
And Minnesota Governor Tim Walz pushed back on social media, saying the president is politicizing the issue to defund programs that help families in Minnesota.
American children. Did you catch that? Yeah, fund for American children, not children coming from Somalia. And like, what? Okay, I'm sorry if you're suffering. I'm sorry, but we're first. We are first. That's just how it works. Use your own like space. Are you going to go outside and start feeding everyone else before you feed your own child? Like, are you effing kidding me? It's so insane. And did you hear the language? Allegedly. And we want to know what time he went. He went during operating hours. It's literally in the video. They're full on gaslighting the whole thing. Allegedly, unverified video. It is a full on verified YouTube video with like millions of hits on it. It is 100% verified. You can see it. It's just, you know, F off. Seriously, like we're starting this new year like with a bang because nope, we're not going to do this anymore. We've got to expose all these bad people coming to our country and using our system to benefit not only themselves, but terrorism. Okay? Whether you want to agree with me or not, that's okay. I have no issues with that, in my opinion. So, again, thanks for watching. This is so crazy and such big news. And I actually want to contact Nick Shirley and see if he can look into like fraud in the trans healthcare system, because that would also be an incredible video for him to do. So with that, everybody please send love to my family. We lost our dog, Arjuna. It's very sad. He was with us for a long, maybe 7 years. It's just, you know, if you've ever had a pet, it's heartbreaking. But Arjuna had prostate cancer and it spread to his lungs, and he was coughing blood and he just wasn't eating for 3 or 4 days, and there was no hope. So we had a beautiful ceremony at my house, and my son is really struggling with it, as I am, but it's horrible.